Hello everyone and welcome to another session of AstroKit. So in this session I'll be talking about which programming languages do we use as scientists. So many people have asked me which programming language is actually the best, and this is something which I find difficult to answer. The reason is that all of these programming languages have some kind of advantage as well as disadvantage, but stay tuned, we'll see who is the ultimate winner in this. So from my experience, I have learned C, C++, Java, Fortran, Python, as well as some part of C#. And in this video I'll explain you which programming language do I find is better of them all. So coming to the first language is Fortran. Fortran is the fastest for scientific computation, but it lacks in several packages. I feel like this is one of the language which is the easiest to learn because it is the easiest syntax. There's no problem of semicolon, comma, full stop, spacing, etc. Most of this language have this problem that you have to make the alignment proper or the curly braces in the proper way or proper fashion. But Fortran is one such language which is only focused on the scientific work that you are doing, not on the syntax mostly. But yes, it do lacks in several scientific packages, and in today's day when we are moving towards machine learning and data analysis part, Fortran significantly lacks in those fields. So yes, it has this problem for the newer packages and newer version. But this was one of the language which I enjoyed the most, to be honest, and I still miss this language. But yeah, and this is the fastest for scientific computation. Next, coming to C and C++. These are the building blocks of the programming languages, you can see. So yes, this is the building block of most. C is the building block of most languages, including Python and C++. And yes, C, C++ are also used to make programming operating systems like Windows and others. So yes, this is one of the most fundamental language that you can see. I'll say this is okay for scientific world or scientific work in today's time when you want to pursue a career in PhD in physics or chemistry, because there are better options available. It's not that C and C++ is not good, but yes, when you have better option, it's always good to go. It's quite slower than Fortran, of course, because you have to you have to call the modules, the mathematics package and all of the packages, they are not inbuilt packages, so you have to call those packages when you are using them. It's an object-oriented language, so if you do not know the features of the object-oriented language, just note in the comment box. I'll give you a proper description of what is object-oriented languages. So yes, it is one of something you can say it in between that Fortran and the higher level languages. Now next, coming to Java. Java is something that I feel is good for multimedia application, but only one problem with Java that I feel is like it's highly complex and verbose. The problem is that syntax is quite lengthy. Like let's say for a print statement you have to use around 4 to 5 words. System.out.println and then what you want to print. Whereas if you want in Python, it's just printf. And also if you want to take something as an input, it's input stream reader and buffered reader. So it's something that's not very simple to write. It's a much longer lines and sentences that you actually use in Java. Java has advanced versions available currently, which I haven't used it, but that's something still I'll not recommend it to use it for scientific work at this stage. If you want to start your own scientific work, if you are not much familiar with any programming languages, it is not ideal to start with Java. So I'll not recommend Java to use at this stage. But yes, if you want for multimedia application and other application, it's quite better. Java is actually slower than C and C++, both I have seen. So that's one of the disadvantages of Java. But on an overall, there are other features also in different other fields in which Java actually outscales these problems, but we'll not be discussing on that. So in scientific community, we do not use Java, so I haven't seen anyone using Java. It do not have much of a scientific module compared to other programming languages. But yes, it is better in some other fields or aspects maybe. So yes, on an average, I'll give it a thumbs up. Coming to Fortran, this is a language which I actually use. So I I use this language because it has a lot of modules in it. So the one of the advantages, like, you do not have to write lengthy codes. It's just short syntax, and everything is already written there. So you just call the module and just use it. So let's say if you want to find a factorial, it's just one line code for Python, whereas if you want to write the same code in Fortran, it's like around 3 to 4, more than 4 lines actually. So yes, this is one of the advantages of Python that I feel. It's quite slower than most of the languages. That's one of the disadvantages, but still I feel it like it ease my task to a much greater degree. I'll not recommend this for the first time learners. So yes, definitely if you do not have any programming understanding or skills, I'll not suggest you to learn Python at the first place. The reason is that Python is too automated and too module based. You do not learn actually what programming is. Instead you learn how to use the packages. Well, that is not something correct from a scientific viewpoint. If you want to learn programming, then you must start off with some basic module languages like Fortran or C or C++. Well, they actually teach you what a programming is, and once you know how a programming or a code works, then you can shift to the module. It will be much better if you shift to the module after learning what programming is. It's not that if you start from Python you will not be able to do anything. Well, you will be able to do great, but the thing is that you will not understand what you are doing. That's the whole problem. You'll be more interested in the result. You will not feel the thrill that how a code runs, how a code works. So it's my personal recommendation. It's always easier to start from the core languages such as C, C++ or Java. Not Java, sorry, C, C++ is fine, or Fortran, you can use it. But yes, if you think you do not have time to learn them and then you want to start with Python at the first place, then okay, you don't have any options. But still I'll recommend this language for any scientific work because it contains a lot of data applications and lot of modules are available. So that's one of the advantages. Well, this is another language, R, which is best for statistical application. Most of my colleagues use this language. The reason for using them is its flexibility in statistical application. There are too many good modules available if you want to do statistical applications, such as Bayesian analysis or any hypothesis testing or any kind of machine learning on the different statistical applications that you want to use it. Well, I do use R sometimes over Python when I'm using something for statistical analysis, but most of the modules that are available in the R, I have found that they are also actually available in Python. But well, in that case I'll still prefer R over Python because R is mainly designed for statistical application. In terms of other scientific work, I would prefer Python because Python has better data handling and array handling capacity or efficiency. That's what I feel. But well, people who use R, they might not agree with this, but I do feel that well, R is good for statistical application, but for all other scientific application, module wise, I feel Python is quite better. Well, there's another language that's coming up, that's Julia. Many of you might not heard about it, but this is a language which many people are saying that it might overtake Python in the next decade, which I am quite skeptical. Well, this is something just you have to write the mathematical formula. You do not need to write any code or something like that, and then it will take and run it. But then Julia do have an advantage of Python because its syntax is simple as suggested. But the problem with Julia is that it do not have a library of like Python. It do not have a support package or module based package like Python. Python has an enormous amount of support library and packages in the backend. So yes, with time we have to see whether Julia will take over Python or Python will actually be the winner. Well, as of now, Python is actually the winner. Most of the scientists and scientific community people use Python. There are other scientific languages also which people do use, like IDL, Mathematica, MATLAB, but those are highly like field based, like which if you were working in a particular field, like I see most of my colleagues who work in solar physics, they use IDL, and most of my colleagues who work in different field, like I know one of my friend is working in statistical mechanics and harmonic oscillators problems, so she uses MATLAB and all. So those are the programming languages that people usually use it. But then there is a disadvantage of such kind of languages. The problem is that they are not open source, they are costly, and they're extremely costly, to be honest. So yes, those are the problems of those kind of programming languages. But yes, people do use them for specific scientific work as of now. So well, let's see. But my personal recommendation of all these languages that I will suggest you, if you want to use any of these programming languages in your scientific work, and then I suggest you to go with Python as of now, because Python is something that is actually gaining the market, and a lot of support modules are actually available for Python. There is a lot of support available in the internet compared to the other programming languages. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do like and subscribe my channel, and also if you have any question, please put it in the comment box. I love to answer it. And also please let me know if you are interested to know something that which I have not covered, or anything of interesting topic that you want to ask an astronomer or an astrophysicist that to be explained in details. Thank you so much for joining me today. Good night.